If you're looking for the best short-term rental deals to maximize your profits, Rabbu or AirDNA might seem like your top picks, but choosing the wrong one here can completely wreck your profit projections. So, after thoroughly testing them both on real deals, I found one platform's data was shockingly off target sometimes, while the other gave me the accuracy I needed to invest with confidence. Let's break down Rabbu versus AirDNA and find out which is the real game changer. So, let's get straight to the heart of this Rabbu versus AirDNA comparison. On the surface, they both offer market data, but I actually found that they're built for two completely different types of investors, so your choice here fundamentally shapes how you find and analyze deals. AirDNA is designed for the serious, data-driven investor. Its core strength is deep, accurate analytics pulled from millions of real Airbnb and Vrbo listings worldwide. So think of it as your professional research team focused on giving you the most reliable revenue projections and market trends. They give you tools like the Rentalizer, which estimates revenue for any property, and detailed market insights to see supply, demand, and pricing. This is for building a portfolio based on rock-solid numbers, not guesswork. But don't just take my word for it. I dug into user feedback to see what other investors are saying about this analytics powerhouse. Over on Reddit, in a thread where someone asked, "How accurate is AirDNA and data from Rabbu?" one user didn't hold back. He said, and I quote, "According to a short-term rental data expert friend, AirDNA is the most accurate." He went on to compare several platforms, putting AirDNA firmly at the top for reliability. Another user in that same thread backed this up, saying that AirDNA is fairly good at evaluating the high-low potential of a market. This tells you something crucial. If your strategy depends on trusting the numbers you see, AirDNA has a reputation for being the gold standard. Rabbu, on the other hand, operates on a different model, right? Like, it combines data with a marketplace. It's designed to help you find properties for sale, to evaluate them, and even connect with lenders and agents all in one place. But here's the key difference I found in my thorough testing. AirDNA tells you exactly what a property could earn based on massive historical datasets. Rabbu aims to help you find and buy a property with data as one part of that journey. It's not as much a core focus, but they do cover a lot. So if you're the type of investor who needs to build unshakable conviction in your numbers before you buy, AirDNA's depth and proven accuracy could be what you need. Rabbu is more for the investor who wants a simpler, more integrated starting point and may prioritize deal sourcing over more ultra-granular data validation and accuracy. Alright, now that we see the core difference here, let's look at what you're actually getting when you sign up. I tested every major tool, and the gap in analytical power and actionable detail became clear very quickly. AirDNA's biggest advantage here is in how it serves as a complete analytical command center. It's not just a tool, it's your entire research department. Let's start with the Rentalizer, right? This one's a game changer. You can literally type in any address in the world, and it uses performance data from similar nearby listings to estimate the revenue, the daily rate, and the occupancy. I used this to analyze potential properties, and it gave me a confidence level that rough guesses from other sources just can't match. Unlike some platforms that give, broad ranges, AirDNA's methodology feels rigorous. Then there's the market insights and map view. This is where AirDNA pulls decisively ahead in the AirDNA versus Rabbu comparison, I think. You can zoom into any city, any neighborhood. You can see how many listings there are, what the revenue per available rental is day by day to understand seasonality, and you can track occupancy rates over time, and you can do more. So I used this to identify undervalued markets and to avoid oversaturated ones. The level of detail is incredible. You're not just seeing data, you're understanding the story of a market. For a holistic view, the performance dashboard lets you benchmark your own property against direct competitors and the whole market. And CompSet lets you build a custom group of up to 100 competitor listings to analyze directly. This depth is what professional users really appreciate. In another Reddit thread where someone asked if AirDNA is worth it as he was starting his first Airbnb and wondered if it was good investment for his journey, a user with 5 properties said he managed all properties in a similar area with varying bedroom counts. He then explained that he and his team based their decision to purchase their most recent property directly on AirDNA's site and their data and all the tools that they had, and after using the platform to see the potential rental income. So I think that's really powerful. They made a major investment decision relying on this data and using their services. I also found a review from a hotel appraisal company that uses AirDNA. They said that the market data is very helpful for their work and what they do, and they highlighted that their customer service issue that they had was handled professionally and quickly. So, yeah, I mean, people seem to be getting some use from it. This tells you a lot. So, for investors, big companies, big or small, whoever values deep, fundamental, and accurate research, AirDNA is in a league of its own. Now, comparing this to Rabbu's core features, Rabbu's strength is in its integrated approach. It offers a dashboard that combines performance analytics with a suite of solutions to simplify property management and to optimize operations. The idea is to streamline your workflow from research to acquisition. And it has a bunch of tools along the way that help you with that. So, for an investor who wants basically everything in one tab and likes the idea of seeing deals pop up next to the data, this can be appealing. It simplifies the initial steps. But in my testing, when I drilled down, I kept asking, how reliable is the underlying data here? Is it actual information that's true and honest and I can trust this? So that Reddit thread that I mentioned earlier had a telling comment about Rabbu, and I found a few comments like this, and, do your own research, definitely look at it, but here's what it said. One user stated bluntly in his Rabbu review that data from Rabbu was way off for him, like 50% understated for his area. When you're making investment decisions that involve hundreds of thousands of dollars, that kind of discrepancy becomes a fundamental risk if that kind of thing is true. So if your strategy is purely about following a simplified all-in-one process, Rabbu has its place, but maybe if you're more concerned about truth of the data and if you need to validate those numbers and you're not sure, and you need to understand the competitive landscape or forecast for multiple years and you want to understand the data in depth, then I think this is where, for any serious investor, AirDNA pulls decisively ahead in this Rabbu versus AirDNA face-off, and people who go with AirDNA would just get more specific tools for anything else that Rabbu and its, generic tools might cover. But, of course, neither of these platforms is perfect, no matter who they're for, whether you're in this for AirDNA or Rabbu, for whatever your needs are, right? Like, they each have some kind of quirks in them, so if you want to make the best choice in your Rabbu versus AirDNA decision, you need to know the potential downsides here. For AirDNA, the most common complaint I found wasn't about data quality, but about accessibility. One user mentioned that as a free resource, it's not useful because you don't get to try it ahead of time for free. Like, you don't get to try it to test if its data is accurate. You have to get a subscription first. He wished that he could compare AirDNA's data with competitors who might offer a free report, but AirDNA doesn't offer any free report to compare the data against it. And yeah, that's true. AirDNA is a premium tool, and they don't give away their best data for free, and they don't have like a free version that you can test it with. But in my view, it's actually a sign of its value. People use them, they're trustworthy, they have deep data, and if you want to try the tools, try a subscription for a bit, and if you don't like it, stop the subscription. It's a sign of its value. You're paying for proprietary, cleaned, and analyzed data that you simply can't get from free resources, right? For an active investor, the subscription cost should be viewed as an essential business tool. It's a cost that you have to upfront for however long you choose to determine how you're going to make a profit using your strategy and using the data that they provide. The return on the small investment of a subscription is one that, if it helps you avoid bad property, is really huge. For Rabbu, though, the downsides that I found were more concerning for making the accurate investment decisions that I rely on. That user review I mentioned earlier about the data being 50% understated, that kind of thing is a significant red flag. I saw a couple of complaints saying that it wasn't entirely accurate, not necessarily 50%, but either it doesn't update as quickly or it uses some previous information. It's perhaps not as accurate all the time. So in the world of real estate investing, inaccurate projections can lead you to overpay for a property or misjudge your cash flow entirely. That's a risk that goes straight to your bottom line. For an investor seeking clarity and confidence based on the most reliable data available, this is a major area where AirDNA's focused, in-depth, and professionally trusted approach really shines through. When it comes to pricing between them, AirDNA is positioned as a premium analytics platform. for the depth of the analysis and the detail, the accuracy of the data, and the peace of mind it provides, I find that the value is definitely there for investors who are actively analyzing markets and managing properties, and who, above all, want to become much more profitable in business and want to narrow down every detail for how they can pinpoint things to become better, right? So, for the most current AirDNA pricing plans and any available promo deals, make sure to check out the link in the video description below. I'll do my best to keep that updated for you. So, after all of this testing, where does this Rabbu versus AirDNA showdown leave us? Well, my take is simple. If your goal is to become a more informed, confident, and profitable investor who builds wealth through accurate data and deep market understanding, then for me, AirDNA is the clear winner for its comprehensive, reliable, and professional grade analytics. To get started with AirDNA and access the data that can help you make smarter investment decisions, make sure to click that link in the description of this video. Thanks so much.